Is Bill Ford right? Is this a major transformation we're seeing across the entire auto industry?
He's 100% right, because you have three different factors, at least, that are coming together to drive the transformation. You have ride sharing, you have driverless cars, and you have electrification. Ride sharing, ironically, may be the biggest threat, although combined particularly with self-driving cars, because the average car is only used 4% of the time. The other 96%, it's in your garage. It's a highly inefficient use of a capital asset. And so as these other services become more usable, then people presumably are going to have fewer cars. They may not have the third car, they may not have a second car, may not even have a first car.
I talked to Dan Ammon at one point, the president of GM, and he said we're going to go more to a subscription model, actually, for cars rather than buying cars. To your point, we'll share these cars. But as you handicap that race to the transformation, who's ahead, who's behind? Is Ford behind? Is that part of what's going on here?
I don't think anybody really knows exactly how this is going to shake out. It's a little bit like the cosmos forming. There's a lot of pieces of matter swirling around because you have pieces to this puzzle. You need to have a robust software platform to actually run these driverless cars. You need to have, servos and motors and all the other infrared detectors, all these things you need to make the thing work. And then you need to have a car. And right now, the big three, plus the traditional automakers are the ones who make cars. So they can make cars. They've all done a lot of stuff here. But who's actually going to come out ahead? This is a betting game that I hear go on a lot. Well,
and is the West Coast ahead or Michigan ahead? Because the automakers say you got to be able to make a car. That's really hard to do. The Silicon Valley says no. We know the code. That's the hard part to do. Anybody can make a car.
I think probably the latter is more true, that anybody can make it. Well, not anybody can make it, but people do make cars. Getting the software is probably a comparative advantage, and you'd have to say that that the West Coast is further ahead. You hear names, certainly Google, obviously, Uber, even Apple and Amazon apparently are working hard at self-driving technology.
So give us a time horizon on this. When we talk about a major transformation, are we talking 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years?
Look, first of all, it's going to happen incrementally. And if you think about it, you already have some self-driving aspects to your car. You have cruise control, you have lane control, you have automatic braking in some cars. So it's going to happen incrementally. I think the question you're asking is, when will it be that you sit in the back seat of the car instead of the front seat of the car? And I think that's still a good ways away. I think there are big safety concerns. I think there are concerns about it functioning perfectly in all kinds of weather conditions. And so I think it's 5 to 10 years before you see cars literally driving themselves around.
Okay, go out 5 to 10 years. Is it a good business?
It's potentially.
Can you make money off of this?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. Especially if you are the leader. If you have the best software for self-driving cars, it'll be a subscription model. They'll license it to the people who actually make the cars. That's a good business. But again, let me just come back to the biggest threat to the OEMs. We sell 17 million cars a year, roughly. You could see that go down by 10%. You could see it go down by 20%. You could see it go down by 30%. You could still make cars at a profit, but you've got to dramatically change your business to accommodate that.